Hi, my name is MaryAnna. I am the Energy Reader. That is an evidential medium, a psychic, an animal communicator, and a nonverbal communicator all rolled into one. I'd like to talk about the fact that everyone in this spiritual realm, especially Dolores Cannon fans, they seem to think that forgiving others is the holy grail, the key to the kingdom, if you will. And I completely disagree. Number one, I think Dolores Cannon is incredibly toxic. I think that the stuff that she has put out and continues to put out, even from the other side, if you will, through her family and her foundation and her business, is gaslighting on steroids. So a lot of people will tell you that you can't heal and that you can't grow and that you can't make it to the other side without karma unless you forgive people who have been wrong to you. And I think that's bullshit. I think that's ridiculous. I think you do not need to forgive anyone. Now, if you're sitting around obviously stalking them and full of vengeance and revenge, that isn't healthy either. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to forgive someone of what they've done to you. I think it is more important to forgive yourself for being in their line of fire. I think it's more important for you to learn how to forgive yourself, to be kind to yourself, to be empathetic to yourself than it is to worry about other people. That is their journey. They're going to get to the other side and they're going to have to answer for that, right? It isn't your journey to make sure that they're forgiven. Does that make sense? And then a lot of people will say, well, it's really for you. It's really for you. Well, if it's really for me, then I'll work on forgiving myself for being in their line of fire or in that situation. So as a child, you didn't have control over whose line of fire you were in. As you grew up and you were an adult, maybe you put yourself into a situation where you really have shame and regret for being in that situation. It's more important in my opinion, it's more important for you to forgive yourself for putting yourself in that situation than it is for you to worry about the people that did you wrong. And as you forgive yourself and as you spend time with yourself and you realize the mistakes you made and you change them, those other people kind of stop mattering. They kind of fall away, if you will. And that in itself is kind of a form of you don't matter anymore, right? You don't have that power over me anymore. And that is in itself kind of a form of forgiveness. So I made some notes. I don't understand how forgiving others who have never changed their behavior and who have never changed their narcissistic ways and who have never apologized. I've never understood how that helps you. So they're not really sorry if they've apologized at all. They haven't changed their ways. They're still the same toxic person that they've always been, and you're busy wasting energy forgiving them for something that they don't even take responsibility for. So how does that help you? That's wasted energy. It's also gaslighting. This is gaslighting on steroids, in my opinion. Why do people insist on the idea of forgiving others? Is it a cop-out? Is it just an echo of something that they've heard? Is it laziness? So really start thinking about the things that you're listening. Start really discerning about the advice you're being given in the spiritual community, because the spiritual community, frankly, can be as toxic, if not more so, as organized religion. The amount of gaslighting that people do to themselves and they do to others in the spiritual community is off the charts, in my opinion. Forgiving is saved for those who are actually sorry for the harm they've caused. If you get someone who comes to you in this lifetime, or even from the other side, and actually apologizes, changes their toxic behavior, and is looking to resonate again, or is looking to have a relationship again, that's different. Okay, I forgive you. I don't justify what you did, but because you've changed your ways, because you're not doing this anymore, I can have some sort of a relationship with you. That is different to me than just being like the person that's cheated on you for 20 years and still would cheat on you. I'm forgiving them. What that does you no good. It literally does you no good. People who are actually sorry for the harm they caused, for the hurt, the trauma, and the pain, and who have changed or who have died and apologized from the other side, that's a little bit different, in my opinion. Why would you forgive a husband who continues to lie, cheat, and steal and gaslight you? That takes away our self-autonomy. That takes away our self-respect. It's wasted energy. It's literally wasted energy. And I'll give you an example. I had a stepdad who was a shitty stepdad. He has since passed away. He came through, and I didn't really need to forgive him because it was no longer in my energy, right? He fell out of my energy many years ago. But in his energy, he still had something to apologize for. So when he got to the other side, he actually broke through into a mediumship circle that I had. And he literally came through 4 or 5 mediums. I don't remember how many it was. They all linked up with him and they all gave me different information. It was all incredibly accurate. And he apologized. And I absolutely accepted it. He didn't need my forgiveness per se, but I did say, I understand you so much better now. I understand the struggles and the personal challenges you had so much better. And I accepted his apology, right? They don't need you to forgive them to move on. And you don't need to waste the energy forgiving people who did you wrong unless you want to. Like if you want to, of course, go knock it out. But you don't have to in order to grow within yourself. And then if you have something that you would like someone to forgive you for, make sure you've changed. Are you still lying? Are you still a cheater? Are you still a shitbag? Then why would they forgive you? And what difference would it make? You're still the same shitbag, right? It doesn't make any sense. So if you're the one that needs forgiveness, make sure that you've changed your ways. Make sure that you've stopped being that person who needs to ask for forgiveness. Make sure you've apologized and meant it. And then if they don't give you forgiveness, you can go back and forgive the person that you used to be. You can go back and have a conversation with yourself and realize that you aren't that same person anymore. And your self-forgiveness, in my opinion, is 100 times more important than someone else forgiving you. Something to think about. Goodness gracious.